Key takeaways on the process of composition. This project, Tapestry of Culture, has taught me so much about poem writing and how difficult it can be to just sit down and write about someone you know so well within a word limit. New things I have learned about my father figure, his culture and poetry in general. I have realised so much about my dad's journey to Australia and how he grew up, particularly about my paternal grandparents who I never had the chance to meet. This made me feel very close to them and their traditions that they raised my father with, that can live on through me and my future family. Through poetry, I have learned that there are endless ways to express your own feelings and thoughts, that there are no real rules and it is extremely personal and different from person to person chatter. What I have learned from my group members and their cultures during this project. I have learned something valuable from each poem within my group. From Nathan's poem, which is about Malta, I learned that his father came to Australia by boat, which made me re-evaluate the way I think about boat people today. Matthew's poem was about the culture of the Uruguayans. I was interested to learn about the Guacha cowboys who live off farmland and cattle ranch. Ahriman's poem was based on his Indian heritage and I really liked the way that he spoke of the spirit of his country and culture. I learned that India was a very rich history. George's poem was from the culture the same as mine, as we are both Lebanese. It was confronting to read about the war in which my father fled from. My thoughts on the project and the summative task. Through this project, I've really learned that we all have experienced different things through our heritage and culture, and that these stories are so interesting, and some of them are also quite confronting. It is important to be able to share these experiences with others so that we can appreciate multiculturalism as we know it today. How did they react to your poem, and what did they think about the project overall? In my poem that describes the positive and the negative attributes of Lebanon, I included different metaphors like to the rhythm of the tabl and a variety of loaded adjectives and descriptive verbs like bustling to bring life to the chaos of the Lebanese streets. I asked my father, did these descriptions accurately take you back to Lebanon as you remember it? His response was, yes, absolutely. I can hear, see and smell all of these things that take me back to where I grew up. But for me, there is only positives to my homelands, no negatives because of my attachment to it. My dad believed that this project was an excellent way for us to not only understand our own backgrounds, but also the diversity of others that we go to school with, who represent communities around Sydney. How does sharing our heritage allow us to better understand ourselves and our school community? Sharing our heritage allows us to better understand ourselves in our school community because it digs deep into the very personal side of individual stories and histories which sometimes are not spoken about in families. This has helped us to connect with our own heritage, which is such a big part of us, and also appreciate, understand, and connect with other cultures and stories within our multicultural school community, despite our cultural differences.